Instagram. My name is Stephanie. This is my very first video on this channel, and if you are here from Instagram, you know that I wanted to start this channel because I am a fitness and nutrition coach. I love sharing education and information about fitness, and I also just recently started, well, I guess in the last year and a half, started a journey towards competing in bodybuilding in the bikini division. So I am starting this channel to kind of document that. I am currently in prep, about 6 weeks out from my very first show. So I wanted to kind of just document it and yeah, have like a little, you know, time capsule of my very first show and prep, and then also to be able to give information out about prepping, about fitness, nutrition, health, the gym, all that good stuff. So I asked on my Instagram before I started this channel what questions everybody had that they want to know more about as far as fitness, my life, prepping, all that good stuff. And one of the questions actually was just, you should share your fitness story, so how you got into fitness. And I thought that was a really good idea. So in this video, I just want to talk about how I got into fitness, and then I will also show you guys my dinner for tonight. It is currently 6 o'clock, so I have already had most of my meals for today, but I'm gonna show you what I make for dinner and my little dessert, I guess, at 6 weeks out from my first competition. So let's get into this first part where we're going to talk about how I got into fitness. If we want to go all the way back, when I was growing up, I was always a little bit heavier. I always was the chubbier kid growing up, and of course that really messed with me mentally when I was growing up, and I was on the, you know, on the heavier side as far as my weight goes for my age. I even remember going into the doctor and them showing you the little BMI chart or the growth chart, and I was definitely above average in that. And I can distinctly remember the doctor saying that and just feeling shame. So fast forward a bunch of years, I was into sports growing up. I did dance, I did competitive baton twirling, I did volleyball, softball, basketball. I played a bunch of different sports, and I was always really active, and that kept me from gaining more weight. I was always really active, and I think I ate pretty decently, but then, you know, I went to college and I was still somewhat active. I twirled for the marching band for my college, so I was still pretty active. However, you throw in, you know, drinking on the weekends and getting Domino's and Jimmy John's and Taco Bell and all that good stuff, and the cafeteria food, which, you know, when you're in a college dorm and you go to the cafeteria every day, they have pizza, and that is my absolute favorite food. So it was every day I was having pizza, and I definitely gained probably more than 15 pounds in my first year or 2 years at college. So moving forward to senior year of college, I had a spring break in Miami planned with my friends, and I was like, I need to lose weight for this. I need to look good in a bikini. I need to, you know, just look good in general. I just really wanted to lose weight for this trip. And of course, like most of us, I didn't go about it the greatest way. You know, up until that point, I had tried, you know, diets before, and I had tried the 21-day fix, the little containers from Beachbody. Nothing really seemed to work for me, and I did a 16-week challenge, and I actually saw really good results with this. This was the very first time I ever tracked macros. So that was in 2016. That was the first time I ever tracked macros. First time I really got into the gym and was like trying to increase my weights on the gym, and I saw pretty good results with it. But of course, we all know that, you know, you're not gonna see life-changing results in just 16 weeks. So I did another 16-week challenge, and at that point, I kind of was just over it and kind of fell off for a little bit, and just like kind of was tracking my macros, not really super into it, and I wasn't really seeing much change at all in my physique, and I was kind of getting frustrated with myself. So I found this girl, Dayla McDivitt, on Instagram, and she just had like this awesome physique, and she had posted that she was a one-on-one coach. So rather than like this 16-week challenge that I did, which was more like group coaching, she was like, you would do weekly check-ins with her, and I was like, that's what I need, because I need somebody to just like tell me what to do and have like the accountability. And I didn't really know where my calories should have gone at that point, because I was just kind of like, I wasn't seeing change. So I hired her, and I was with her for about a year as her client, and that was the most change in my body and also my just like mental state that I had seen so far. And I just like fell in love with one-on-one coaching. Pretty soon after that, you know, I had always kind of been into fitness since I started the challenge, and I was like, I want to do this. Like, this is awesome. I want to do this for a living. So I reached out to Dayla and asked her, like, what are the steps to like do what you do? I want to do what you do. And she pointed me in the right direction. So I got my NASM certification to be a certified personal trainer. And then, you know, I didn't know what to do with it at the time, and then COVID happened and everything kind of shut down. I lost my job that I was at previously. So I was working in the theme parks here in Orlando, Florida as a dancer. So I danced in the parades, and I did like some of the character stuff, and all the parks shut down for COVID. So I lost my job. And then I was like, well, I have this, you know, NASM certification. I should probably do something with it. And I started just coaching like my friends and, you know, anybody that would sign up for like online coaching. Essentially what Dayla had been doing, one-on-one coaching online. And I started doing that, started getting more certifications, more clients, and then DLD, so Dayla's company, opened up assistant coaching positions. And I applied for that right away, and I got the job. So now here I am an assistant coach for DLD, and I have been, it's been probably 2 years since I started with DLD, close to 2 years this summer. So that's kind of how I got started into fitness in general. But then going into, you know, why do I want to do bodybuilding, and why did I decide to do that in the first place? And I think the very first thing I ever saw of bodybuilding, I always kind of thought it was like similar to like the Miss America pageants for some reason. But the first thing I ever saw of bodybuilding was another girl that I found on Instagram even before I had found Dayla, and her name was Megan, and she was actually, that's how I found Dayla, was through her. But she used to do bodybuilding, and I thought it was really cool, but I also, in the back of my mind, was like, I could never do that. Like, I don't have the discipline, I don't have like, I don't think I could ever do that. And I also didn't want to get up on stage in a bikini. But then, you know, a few years later, kind of after COVID, I was just seeing more people on Instagram posting, you know, them competing, and I started getting more into, you know, what is competing, why do people do this? and it just seemed so cool. Like I said, I grew up in sports. I grew up a competitive baton twirler where I did pageants and I went to nationals, and it was a big part of my life. I even twirled in college, like I mentioned, and I was missing that. Like, I am extremely competitive at heart, and I was missing some of that competition. So with fitness being such a big part of my life, it just kind of made sense for that to be like, it was a natural progression. Like, I need something competitive because I don't have that anymore, and I'm really into fitness. I've been lifting for a while, so like, why not? That's something that's going to, you know, really challenge me, really test me, which I have been missing since I stopped twirling. And I also love being in front of people, and I don't in person, like my own self, but I love performing. I love like putting on a show for people, and that's why, you know, I did parades in the theme parks here, is because I loved it. It was so much fun to like go out there and like put on a performance and basically be somebody that you're not, or somebody that I'm not, and I miss performing. I absolutely love my job as a one-on-one coach. It is amazing, I love it, but I do miss performing. I also miss, you know, having a competitive side. So that's kind of my like why and how I got into all of this. So thanks for listening, but I am going to show you, I'm gonna make dinner. So I'll show you dinner, my little like dessert thing that I'm gonna have, and then I think I'll wrap this video up, but we'll see. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear my washing machine in the background, but I am making tilapia. So about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I realized that my body was done digesting chicken. So that was fun, but can't have chicken anymore. That was really my like primary protein source at the time, so kind of sucks. Canned chicken seems to work, but like chicken tenderloins, my body's like, no, we're good. And I think that happens because sometimes when our calories get low, your body essentially is like just prioritizing like how to use those calories and like how to use its energy that is available. And some like harder to digest foods, your body's just like, it's too much energy for me to expend to digest that, so we're just not gonna digest it. And I think that's what's happening. But yeah, so no chicken. So I am making tilapia. It has been my kind of like go-to for dinner the last few weeks. I was doing lean ground beef, and I do like lean ground beef. I was starting to get a little tired of it, and then it also is higher in fat, which I have enough fat to have lean ground beef, but I'd rather use it elsewhere. So I am just doing tilapia for now. So I'm weighing out 10 ounces. I'm weighing out 10 ounces. It's about 11. It's fine. I will track 11. And then I'll show you how I season and make this. So I am kind of keeping track of my sodium. The only reason is because it can cause weight fluctuations on the scale if you are having, you know, a lower amount one day and then a higher amount the next day. You're gonna wake up a little bit higher on the scale. So just to make it like more controlled so that, you know, I'm not having these big fluctuations, I am like just keeping track of where my sodium is. And I like to have most of my sodium, or a large amount of sodium, before my workouts, because it does help with bringing more water into the muscles, and it just helps with your performance in the gym and recovery. So I don't use a lot of sodium in my dinner. I do it more so around my training. So I'm going to be using paprika. I don't know if you can see that. And then Mrs. Dash, which is a sodium-free lemon pepper for my fish. And then I really like Mrs. Dash. They have like a sweet and spicy. They have all different types of flavors, but I really like the lemon pepper for fish specifically. Just going to let that cook in there, and then I'm just gonna make some veggies, put some cocoa aminos on the veggies with the tilapia, and that'll be it. So I have about 5 minutes left on the tilapia, and these take about 4 minutes in the microwave. So I'm gonna get these started. Hi. And I got these at Costco, so I'm just gonna do about 185 grams and pop it in the microwave for 4 minutes. Now several days later, and I'm editing this video and realized that I forgot to film my dessert that I had promised you. So I owe you guys a dessert. I am not going to make the same one that I was talking about before because it was good, but honestly this one is a lot better. So I am going to show you this dessert. It is so good. It sounds really, really weird. So just stick with me because it is really good in the end, I promise. Okay, so the first thing that we need is egg whites. This is going to be the majority of this meal. And the base for our crepes. So I'm going to do 150 grams of egg whites. You really do however much you need protein-wise. So I'm going to put cinnamon and pumpkin pie spice in this and just stir it up. I almost forgot, I also like to put a little bit of like sugar-free syrup, like coffee syrup in there. Again, this sounds so weird, but just stick with me. And then you can use like a hand mixer if you have one. I do not, so I'm gonna use a frother just to mix it up really, really well. So you're just going to pour your egg whites into the pan. This is about ready to flip. I am just going to put some chocolate chips in there, try to spread them out evenly, and then just fold it over. Oh! And it's kind of hard to spread because the eggs will just like fall apart. But if you just let it melt for a little bit, it'll spread a lot easier. Looks really gross. It kind of sounds gross, but it tastes really, really good. So try it and let me know. Cheers. That is it for my very first video, but thank you guys for watching. Be sure to do all of the things that you do on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment with whatever you want to see next. I'm thinking a like full day of eating video. I don't typically love to do like full workout videos just because my coach programs my workouts, so they're not really my workouts to give out, but I can definitely do like form videos, talk about, you know, competition prep if you guys have any questions. So just leave comments down below of this video and I'd be happy to, you know, make videos on anything that you guys want to know about. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will catch you guys in the next one.